sentence.
Hey, good morning, YouTube. How are you? Good to see you. Welcome to Sunday Morning Cruise Chat Live. I know we're in a whole new place. Y'all notice that there's a new backdrop behind us. That's our new backyard. And thankfully, landscaping is included in this rental, so I don't have to mow that big backyard back there. But how's everybody doing? Good morning, Jessica. Good morning, Rick, Becky, Dennis, Sue, and Raphael. Hey, Raphael, thanks so much for joining in this morning. I hope the shot looks okay. I know it's a little blown out behind me, but I did the best I could with the time that we had. You would light it a lot better. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Jen. B-Red, I'm helping you with your cruise out of New Orleans on the Valor at Christmas. Yay! Oh, I just love helping people with cruises. It is so much fun. So Rafi's actually got a good question to kick off the show. He's asking, hey, he just saw that the big guy, meaning Richard Branson, gave away a whole bunch of free cruises on Virgin. Any thoughts on that? So if you guys haven't seen the video yet, it's absolutely fantastic. Sir Richard Branson surprised a bunch of Delta Airlines guests at Hartsfield International Airport in Atlanta. And he came on the plane and he gave away a cruise to all Delta Sky Miles members who are 18 and over. And they're all from San Juan. They're celebrating the launch of the Resilient Lady in San Juan. He said, hey, I'm going to give everybody a cruise sailing from San Juan. Hey, Rafi, I think it's awesome. I mean, that's exactly the kind of things that he does. I have seen tons of photos popping up when their ships have been going to Tortola. Richard's been showing up because his Necker Island is like right there, right next to Tortola, right in the British Virgin Islands. So, yeah, I think it's absolutely amazing. Can you imagine sitting on that plane?
See, I think it's annoying because we don't live in Atlanta and go to Hartsfield Airport regularly anymore. And we are Delta Sky Miles members.
We could have gotten a free cruise. I know.
That's what annoys me.
That is so funny. But yeah, Rafi, I think it's an absolutely fantastic thing that he did that, and it does not surprise me. Richard is the reason why we booked for in the first place on Virgin Voyages. That's why I was so excited to go ahead and book on there. So, wow, good morning. Jen's here, Benny's here, Bill is here. Hi guys, Brant. Wow, so many people. Secretary Weber Davis here with Rebecca. You wish you would have been in Atlanta. I know. Norma, good morning. Hey, a reminder to everybody, August 30th. I want to say it's August 30th. There is the celebration cruise, the Virgin celebration cruise. Sir Richard will be on the entire cruise, along with a whole bunch of folks from the Virgin Corporation. They're going to be talking about the Virgin Company, the launch of the Virgin Company, the growth of it, their mindset, and of course, the launch of Virgin Voyages. So if you'd like to go hang with Richard for 4 days, you can book the celebration cruise sailing on the Valiant Lady out of Miami. They're doing 3 of them, one on each ship, and the one here is going to be around August 30th. So if you all want to go sail with Sir Richard, ask him for a free cruise. You can do that. Hey, Kim, how are we both doing? Thank you for asking. We're doing well. We're tired, but we're doing well. And a huge shout out. I don't know if they're watching. Zachary Hughes, Mindy Hughes, and Danielle Dunham. They all came over. Zachary was here for 2 days helping us. Mindy, Zachary, and Danielle all came here yesterday. We had a 10-foot truck, and we moved what we could for 2 days, and then tomorrow the movers are coming. They're going to bring all the furniture and everything here. But man, Zachary, Mindy, and Danielle, thank you so much. And once again, if you're just tuning in, I'm Walter, your independent travel advisor. We book cruise, luxury, land, expedition. So we are your full service travel advisor. Our services are 100% free. So just reach. I mean, why wouldn't you use the experiences of an experienced travel advisor? I don't know. We did. We've been cruising almost 20 years. We always use a travel advisor for every one of our cruises, even though, after 20 years, you kind of know a lot of things, but it's always fabulous to work with a travel advisor. So if we can help you, do reach out. Hey, Acito Alex. Hi, what do you do when you are offered upgrade bids? Is lowest bid okay? Great question. So will the lowest bid, so you're saying like they say, hey, the recommended bid is 500. If I bid 500, will I get it?
The minimum bid.
Yeah. So if I bid that, will I get it? It just depends on how many cabins are available and how many people bid for that particular category. Now, you did that on Virgin
I've only
Voyages.
done it once.
Right.
And it was on Virgin, because generally I pick a room for a reason. I don't want to be moved to some random location. Mm-hmm. But I did it on Virgin.
Yes.
And I bid I think it was $50 over the minimum for the cabin, not per person. So.
Yeah. So will it work? Who knows? It might work. It might not. It depends on the cruise line, which ship, and how full the ship is, and then how many people are actually bidding for that particular category, plus how many people in that category bid up and get out of that category. So, you can take a shot. Now, like Rebecca just said, good point. We always pick a cabin for a specific reason, whether it's for us or it's for our clients. And when you bid, you are now at the mercy of the cruise line. Yeah, you're going to get into a quote unquote better category, but will you be in a worse location on the ship? Because there are some, there's certain cabins on the ship that sell last because nobody wants them. You might be above the theater, below the nightclub, down near the anchor, below the pool. There's a lot of places on the ship where you really don't want to be if you can help it. In fact, we had a great discussion about that last night. Some clients wanted an ocean view on the Celebrity Constellation. And the best ones to me were under the casino, but they're right at the entrance of the casino. So I don't think it's going to be that bad. But based on the parameters and what they wanted, they really were the best cabin. So I think they're going to be okay being right there. So that's how it worked. And keep in mind that if they accept the bid, they don't reach out and say, you've won the bid, would you like the cabin? No, they just move you. So you're gone. You are now, your old cabin is gone and you are now moved up into the new cabin. So great question. Thank you.
And definitely if you're traveling in a group, there is zero guarantee. Even if they're your own children, there's zero guarantee that those, like both bids would ever be accepted.
Exactly. Kurt, good morning and thank you. Yes, you all are noticing the new background. So this is our new rental house. It has this massive screened-in porch out here. So this is now going to be our outdoor set. And we're going to have an indoor set as well. We're going to put all the pictures back up and everything. So, depending on what's going on, and we have an idea to do some painting. So yeah, y'all are going to start to see more of the place. It is actually quite lovely. We got lucky. Our house is literally, our old house is a quarter mile that way. That's how close we are. We could have driven straight across, but we couldn't because there's a big stream. You can see a fence at the end of our yard. There's a big stream back there. So we couldn't drive here, but thank you. Hey, good morning, Stacy. How are you? Yes, it is a beautiful view, isn't it? It's a nice Sunday morning. We're actually awake. I got more sleep than Rebecca last night, but we're actually awake and we're at the new house. So good morning, Gary. Oh, I missed Gary Q. About a month until your Eclipse cruise. Yeah, Celebrity Eclipse, great ship. Gary Holmes, hello. Carrie, good morning. Good morning. Shell, good morning.
Oh, is that a Celebrity Eclipse or the solar eclipse? The princess thing.
Oh, that's the solar. That's
which one is that?
Oh, you're talking about the solar eclipse. Oh, yeah, Gary, you're talking about the solar eclipse on the Emerald Princess. Yeah, I'm so jealous. That's going to be an awesome cruise. That is going to be such an awesome cruise. And you're going to have a bunch of your family with you, which is going to make it even more memorable. So that is absolutely fantastic. Hi, Shell. How are you? Good to see you. Hey, thanks for joining us over here. You follow us on YouTube. When sharing VV, what do I feel is the biggest selling point? Oh, boy.
The food.
The food, yeah, for sure. The food is what I think the biggest selling point of the whole thing is that they've wrapped so much in that there's really no nickel and diming once you get on the ship. So it's not like you're constantly, oh, I got to pay for this, I got to pay for that. There's no photographers trying to take pictures of you, and then there's nobody trying to upsell you anything when you walk on the ship. That is one of the things that you kind of get used to with everybody else. Hey, you want a drink package? You want a dining package? You want this package? You want that package? It's like there is none of that. So I think the biggest selling point of Virgin is that it's more relaxing mentally because you're not throwing all these things when you get on the ship. It's really, really relaxing. So yeah, the food is absolutely amazing. It's lovely that you can go to any restaurant. We've been on 4 Virgin Voyages, have not paid a dime for food on any of those cruises. And it is just really nice that you can just eat anything you want. You don't think about it. It's like, oh, do I want to pay for this? Do I want to pay for that? And of course, you get the included bar tab. And then, like we still have, I think, 4 or 5 My Next Virgin Voyages certificates still left from our last cruise. So that's like $300 off, $600 on board.
And they're the good ones.
They're the good ones. So they work for the next 2 years and you get $600 onboard credit. I think that relaxation feature, just the fact that there's no nickel and diming, it's mentally relaxing. Great question. Thank you. Gary Holmes, sailing on the Mardi Gras in May. Yes, great ship. great ship. If you haven't seen it yet, we've got a whole playlist here on TikTok and over on YouTube about the Mardi Gras, and especially the food, because I love food. I love food so much. Oh my gosh. Oh, and Siggy Torres said, loved the fact that there's no buffet with people, you know, like grabbing at food and, you know, nobody doing the tongs thing. I will say that's a nice thing about Oceania cruises. Yes, they have a buffet, but they service. So that was really lovely. And they have lobster, shrimp, sirloin steak, ketchup the day, and lamb chops every single night on the buffet, made to order. Oh my God, it's so amazing, so amazing. Hey, Gary Bembridge's #2 fan. I love that. That's hilarious. Have we sailed into Southampton? We have not. We have not sailed into Southampton yet. So, and what's the best way into London? I knew that answer. I don't have it in my Rolodex right now, but I knew that answer because I had to look it up for somebody. But I don't have it in my immediate Rolodex. But no, we haven't sailed into Southampton yet. We've had, actually haven't had all that many clients go out of Southampton,
Well,
much
do know
more
they have,
Barcelona and Rome.
they have like,
There's trains. For sure.
there's trains, and I think there's also like shuttles and things because
Yeah.
it's a regular thing going from Southampton to London.
Yeah, it's not that difficult.
Kind of like Orlando to Port Canaveral.
Yeah, it's not. It's not something I just have off the top of my head, but I know it's not that difficult. I know it's pretty easy. So, and I love your handle. That is absolutely hilarious. I love the handle. Love it. Love it. Love it. Hey, Carrie's asking, do we do only cruises, or do we do other types of vacations? We do it all. And in fact, you know, one of the cool things that I love is there have been a couple of times talking to clients where they wanted to cruise. And because of the things that they really, really wanted to do, cruise wasn't going to work because they needed more time on land. And especially like being able to be on land overnight, and maybe 2 days in the same place, you know, moving around. So there have been a couple of times where we've actually pivoted from a cruise and booked them into a land tour instead, because that was going to work out better for them. So yeah, we do cruises, land, luxury, expedition, theme parks. We've got multiple folks coming down. We live in the Orlando area, so we know the theme parks pretty well. So we've got a bunch of folks coming down here. But yeah, we do book absolutely everything. So hey, Brant, thank you for that. Brant just said over on YouTube, he's taking a round trip out of Southampton, taking National Express in and out of London. Thank you for that, Brant. That is absolutely awesome. I love it when you all share. And I see over on the YouTube side, people are agreeing with Rebecca, saying food is the best part of Virgin and pretty much any cruise.
And the second best of Virgin is hammock.
Oh yeah, the second best thing. I mean, you know, once you lay in one of those hammocks, I mean, you're done. You're never gonna. In fact, we did that. We went on the Icon of the Seas, right? The biggest ship in the world, big beautiful ship. We walked out on the balcony. It's like, man, I wish there was a hammock out here. That was literally like the first thing we said. It was so funny. Shannon, you're boarding the Allure in 29 days. What's the first thing you always do after you board? Well, if we have the key or the priority stuff where we can drop off the bags, that's always really nice. So we drop off the bags. But I actually that's an Oasis class ship, so I would probably go to Park Cafe. You know, there's going to be all these people going up to Windjammer and other places. I like the Park Cafe, but then the other alternative would be to go up to the Solarium Bistro if you're looking for something to eat versus going up to the Windjammer. The Windjammer is nice and all, but that is where most of the people are going to go. And I just love Park Cafe. Plus, you're in Central Park. Ship's not going anywhere yet, so there's like really nothing to look at other than the port. So yeah, on an Oasis class ship, I'll go down to Park Cafe, or maybe go up to the Solarium Bistro versus going back to the Windjammer.
But the big thing to remember is if you don't have the key or you're not in a suite or anything special like that, carry on as light as possible, because you will be carrying those bags around until maybe somewhere between 1:30 to 2:30, probably.
Yeah, that's when
until you can get into your room.
Especially on the Oasis class, they do tend to open a little later because that's a big ship. They got a lot of cabins to clean. Aaron is here. Good morning, Aaron. Secretary over here on YouTube is saying go to the doghouse and get a dog. I can tell you the hot dogs and the sausages are great. I really enjoyed that. If you are going on to the Icon, I would almost recommend going back to Surfside Eats, where they have the food for kids, but it's just comfort food for everybody. I totally missed out on the hot dog grilled cheese, but I totally would have been there. Next time we get on the ship, I am totally getting a a hot dog grilled cheese. So good morning, Aaron. Thanks so much for joining us. Really, really do appreciate that. Oslo, Aceto, Alex, thank you so much for the kind words. Thank you so much. Good morning, Richie D. How are you? Nick King is hoping to go on a cruise by the end of the year. Yes, we're more than happy to help you. As you can see, we have this lovely new inspiring backdrop at the new house. So it'll help us find even better cruises moving forward, right?
Yes.
And if an alligator comes up behind me.
And just over there is a palm tree in their backyard so that we can see.
Oh, okay. So there's a palm tree. Okay, good.
Kind of.
I don't know. Am I pointing at it? Am I pointing at it? Am I pointing at it?
No, wrong side.
Wrong side. Where is it?
It's over here.
Oh, it's over here. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, it's by.
Well, it's backwards on this screen. That's why I'm pointing. So.
Well, okay.
We're getting used to the new house. This is literally, last night was our first night here. I slept on the air mattress. Rebecca slept on the guest bed until our actual bed gets here. Hey, Richie, thank you. Good morning, Shell. How are you? Hey, Aaron, good morning. Aaron is saying that the Solarium Bistro is his go-to on the Oasis class ship. Yeah, anything but the Windjammer, especially on opening day. Thank you so much for joining in, Aaron. That is awesome. Shell, you've only sold VB but booked for a fourth. Yeah, that is so awesome. It is. I'll tell you what. Virgin Voyages kind of sells itself. They shoot themselves in the foot with some interesting business decisions. You know, they cancel this, they cancel that. Of course, San Juan, the sailings are like super popular right now. But of course, that means that Australia lost out on the second season. So they do some things that kind of annoy us, but they really are a fun cruise line. So Richie D going on a Mardi Gras. That is going to be fantastic. Carrie, do all cruise lines match member status? No, there's only 2 that do it, and one of them put it on pause. MSC is still doing it. Virgin Voyages did. They put the system on pause. Apparently, there's a new loyalty program coming out. We've been hearing that for 2.5 years, but apparently they mean it this time. I don't know. We'll find out. But Virgin Voyages did do a status match, but that whole program is on hold. We'll have to wait to see. But right now, MSC Cruise Line, to my knowledge, is the only one that's doing a status match. So, good morning, Christy. How are you? Yes, thank you. I'm glad you all are enjoying the new backdrop. So, yes, we're really enjoying the new backdrop as well. Siggy, any cruises from Seattle, would they stop in Vancouver? I don't know of one offhand. Generally, it's Victoria. So the what is it? The Jones Act, I think it is. So the ship, if it's not registered in the United States and it's doing a closed loop from U.S. port, they have to stop in a foreign country. Generally, it's going to be Victoria, and that stop is generally going to be 2 or 3 hours. That's it. It's going to be the bare minimum. But to my knowledge, there might be one. But to my knowledge, there's not one that is part of an Alaska cruise or even just part of a cruise up there that will stop in Vancouver. If anybody knows of one, certainly chime in, but I don't know of one offhand. Great question. So, Rafi, what's your deadline to buy the travel insurance from Allianz? Technically, up to like 48 hours before the cruise. Great question, though. So, Raphael just booked a cruise with us. He's going on the Resilient Lady. Yes, he's going on the all-new Resilient Lady. That's so awesome. Well, not all new, but all new to us. And so Rafi is asking, what's the deadline to get travel insurance? So in general, if you're going to get independent travel insurance, and we generally recommend and sell Allianz Global, that's actually the same travel insurance we use for ourselves. If you're going to get that, you've got to get it within 14 days of putting down your deposit if you want to cover pre-existing condition. We strongly recommend that you do that because you may not know everything that's like pre-existing in your body. And
I think you do have to have some medical awareness of it.
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
You do have to have some. It has to be medically documented thing that's been.
Well, yeah. So we recommend it because if you get it after 14 days, you can pretty much get it up until like 48 hours before the cruise, or maybe 24 hours before the cruise. But after that first 14-day window, any pre-existing conditions no longer covered.
And just to give a simple example, because probably about half this country is on blood pressure medication. If you have any cardiac related issues and you're on blood pressure medication, that will be considered a pre-existing condition.
Yeah. So,
something just as simple as that.
Gotcha. Yep. User 471, any tips for the Odyssey of the Seas? You're boarding on the 16th. Well, number one, our dear friend Stephanie at Sean and Steph channel, she did a fabulous overview of that ship. She said I think it used to be her favorite ship until she went on to the Icon as far as Royal Caribbean. She thought that was like the perfect Royal Caribbean ship, just the right size. It has the bumper cars. It has the iFly skydiving. Of course, it's got the flow rider. Does not have the ice skating on it, but it gosh, has everything else. Oh, it has roller skating though, which is kind of fun. So I would certainly go watch her series, Sean and Steph, SEAN and Steph, Stephanie Mullen. She did a great series on that ship. One of the things that I really like about that ship, they have that huge Playmakers up there. Playmakers has some of the best wings, really, really good wings on there. And yeah, bumper cars. Totally want to do the bumper cars on that ship. So those are just a couple. And like we were talking about earlier, on boarding day, the Windjammer is going to be full. So find an alternative to the Windjammer versus just going up to the Windjammer to get a buffet lunch. Try to find something else so you're not like up there and swimming in the crowds and all that good stuff.
And just before we get too far ahead, somebody asked you to repeat the insurance, the name of the insurance.
The insurance I'm talking about is Allianz Global. And I guess I should also clarify the big difference between Aaron, you're asking on YouTube, there is a link to Stephanie's channel, I believe, in the description. But it is Sean and Steph. So I know on YouTube, I'm pretty sure on YouTube I have a link to her channel. If I don't, it's definitely spelled in there saying you can find it very easily. And I believe even on TikTok I might have it. But cruise insurance. So if a lot of people ask me what's the difference between the cruise line and the independent insurance. Big difference is, and just making it super simple, the cruise line insurance is really good if you think you're going to have to cancel your cruise and getting your money back. The medical coverage is not that great, except for Viking Ocean. Now, Viking has really good travel insurance, but most, in a general sense, most of the cruise lines, if something actually happens to you on a cruise, that medical coverage can sometimes be really inadequate, especially if something bad happened, or if you need to be flown back to the United States. So that's why we recommend the independent insurance, because then you're covered for quite a few reasons if you have to cancel. Plus, we're going to give you good medical coverage on the back end. And in fact, we just had a client literally just cancel at the last minute. I want to say 2 weeks ago, and she said Allianz already paid the claim. They all got COVID, so they couldn't go. And she said she just sent me an email. It's like, oh my God, Allianz is amazing. They just paid our claim. So that's good. And I've had a couple of people do that. So
and that's ALLIANZ.
Allianz, ALLIANZ.
But you can also go to insuremytrip.com, which is another good website for comparing travel insurance policies.
Absolutely. And for those of you just joining in, maybe you've not been on the channel before, I am Walter, your independent travel advisor. And that voice you keep hearing is my lovely wife, Rebecca, just off camera. We are Where's Walter Travel, independent travel advisor. So we book cruises, land tours, expeditions, and luxury travel, up to and including private jets. So any of y'all want a private jet to get you somewhere on one of these vacations, we can even book that too. And we've got a great, we got an absolutely fabulous town car service now. I think they can do up to 4 people, 6 people, something like that. Oh yeah, we've got a great town car service pretty much anywhere in the world, which is awesome. So that just made our lives a whole lot easier, especially for like our river cruise clients and things like that. Absolutely amazing. Oh, Jen, you are so kind. Jen over on YouTube saying she can recommend our land travel service. She's been looking this week at when Fincantieri's next build starts now that Sun Princess is out in the world. Interesting that you bring up the Sun Princess. We were having some discussion. First of all, thank you.
And there's a question about the sphere balconies. So
okay,
we got a whole lot going on here.
Okay, we got a whole lot going on with the Sun Princess.
Yeah, there's a few questions.
Okay, great. I'm glad y'all are asking about the Sun Princess. So first of all, before I answer all the questions, I will remind everybody that we have a group going out October 19th through the 26th from Fort Lauderdale. This is going to be a 7-day cruise with 3 sea days. So we got all kinds of time to explore the ship. On the second sea day, I'm planning to have a cabin crawl because we have so many different kinds of cabins. We're somewhere in the 40-ish range of people. So we've got quite a few people coming. So if you'd like to come and if you'd like to see the woman of mystery up close and in person, my lovely wife, Rebecca, come on the cruise with us October 19th.
Not too close.
Through the 26th. We're offering $100 on board credit for booking into the group. So just reach out. Where's WalterTravel.com. On YouTube, there's links down in the description. And on TikTok, there's links if you click on my logo. So she brought up the Sun Princess, talking about Fincantieri. Yeah, Osito, we do theme parks as well. Good morning, Loving Life. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Shannon. Joe, okay. So Joe is asking about the Sphere balcony, specifically. Jen brought up the Sun Princess. So first of all, we've been watching all the reports coming in on the Sun Princess. She was not ready to sail. They definitely should have waited maybe another month. It's sounding like, none of the entertainment's ready.
Yeah, they have a few minor things in the piazza.
Yeah, which is easy, right? But none of the shows are running. What else was not operating? You were talking about something else that was not operating.
The magic thing is
Spellbound's not operating. So there's a lot of things that are not operating.
Park 19.
Yeah, Park 19's not running.
Oh, and the cabanas in the sanctuary aren't ready.
They're not ready yet. So there was a lot not ready with this ship. Now, when the Wonder of the Seas came out, the show wasn't ready. The big show wasn't ready, and that's okay. But the Sun Princess has a lot that was not ready. And from what we understand so far, they've only given everybody $125 on board credit. I don't think that's enough for the amount of things that were not ready on the ship. So, I mean, you really have to, they're selling all of these things that are going to be on the ship. And then you come on the ship and they're not there. And then they're not ready. So, I mean, I think they deserve at least 50% back on their funds because so much of the ship was not ready. And this is one of the reasons why we always say, don't go on these inaugural cruises. We like to wait about 3 months, let them work out the kinks. Now, usually there aren't this many kinks when a ship launches, but this is a brand new ship. First time they've ever built something like this. Biggest ship Fincantieri has ever built at this shipyard. There was a lot of firsts on this ship. So it doesn't surprise me that some things aren't working right or not ready. And, it is kind of a disappointing launch, from a customer perspective. If I had a client on there, I would be very disappointed right now.
Plus the first 2 cruises got canceled altogether.
Which was actually, I think, preferred over going onto a ship that is not ready.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, so they should have just canceled more of these things and just waited until like mid-March when they could at least get everything up and running. So now Joe is asking about the Sphere balconies. And we were pretty excited about these balconies. I wish I had a picture of it to show you guys.
But I have a caveat. Go use.
Okay. So we've gotten pictures of them now, and just because they are so incredibly long, these are really big balconies. I mean, you can probably put 20, 30 people out onto these balconies. They're narrow, but they're long. They kind of have a little bit of a tunnel effect because obviously there's privacy on either side, so you don't want to just see the people on either side. There are similar cabins to these actually on MSC that are down on the ground, and only like the first part is private and then all the rest of it is not. And I actually kind of prefer what Princess did, so at least the whole balcony is kind of private. So I don't know, what's your
But I have seen some pictures of other Sphere balconies that are up higher, and it has less of that tunnel effect.
Well, it's because they're shorter.
Yes.
Yeah, it's because they're shorter. So I'm going to hold judgment until I actually see it. They are huge. They are huge balconies. So I will give it that. It does have a little bit of that tunnel effect, but that's because it's so long. But I do prefer the tunnel versus what we saw on MSC. I mean, the balconies are almost the same length as what we saw on MSC, but it's like just the first third is private and all the rest of it, and you're on display and everybody can see you and all that. So it is very private. I'll give it that. I'll totally give it that. So yeah. Aaron, if you look in the descriptions, you will see I spelled out Sean and Stef. So just copying that. That is the name of the channel. You'll find it very quickly, very easily. Carrie, the best cruise with the least amount of kids, top 3. Well, Virgin
top
Voyages,
2 are easy.
Virgin Voyages and Viking Ocean, 18 plus. There, you can't get anybody else.
So that's easy.
Yeah, you got to be 18 years old just to get on the ship. To Virgin Voyages and Viking Ocean, you must be 18
Viking
plus.
River too.
Oh, Viking River, yeah, just Viking.
Yeah.
And Viking Expedition. Might as well throw that in there too. Because if they have a kid on there, they're just going to throw it out as bait for the sharks on the expedition. That would be awesome. No, just kidding. They would never do that.
They wouldn't be on the ship in the first place.
And then beyond that, probably Princess, Celebrity,
Holland America.
Oh, actually, Oceania. Oceania would probably
any of the luxury lines are going to have
fewer
less
kids.
Children because most families are a little more strapped in their budget. Yeah.
So, but the first two are easy. Then I'd say Celebrity, Princess, Oceania, maybe Holland America. Those are going to be like the next four right behind that. But it also depends on, there is no best cruise with the least amount of kids. There is, because even going on a Royal Caribbean ship on a specific itinerary, and you go on the smaller Royal Caribbean ship, it's all about that itinerary. So when are you going, where are you going, and where are you sailing from? That's going to
how long is the itinerary?
And how long is the itinerary? Because the longer itineraries have fewer kids, because parents generally can't pull their kids out for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks to go on something unless it's the summertime. So yeah. Chris Cello, have we eaten at the Catch by Rudy on Princess? So when we were on the Sky Princess, it was called
Rudy's Sel de Mer.
Yeah, Rudy's Sel de Mer. We did not eat there because
they hadn't switched over.
And I just really didn't like the setup of it because it's right out in the piazza. So it's very noisy and it's like a pathway, like people just walk on by and stuff. So I didn't really like the setup that much. However, Stacy, who was watching a little while ago, her and her husband went there and said it was fabulous. So it was still Rudy's restaurant. They've just flipped it now to Rudy's, to the Catch by Rudy. So it's a slightly different menu. But I will say anything Rudy. I mean, we went to Rudy's Sea Grill on the Carnival Mardi Gras. Wow. Just really, 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 really good. So yeah. Rick, you have the Sphere balcony booked on Sun Princess in November 2025. Yes, they should have things going good by then. Absolutely. I mean, I'm so thankful that our group is in October. I mean, they're going to have everything figured out. I think probably
by April, at least 90% of everything will be ready.
Yeah, just based on what we're seeing and hearing, I mean, I'm going to guess April is when they're going to come on board. I do want to mention we're already, a half hour in, and I haven't even said anything about this. On Thursday night, here on YouTube only, Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to have Bentley from Carnival Cruises, fresh off the Jubilee inauguration or the Jubilee naming ceremony. She was there. She was jamming the Gwen Stefani. I heard her singing on the phone as she's singing along with Gwen Stefani. So if you want to talk all things Carnival, we're going to be talking, obviously, we're going to talk about Jubilee. We're going to talk about Celebration Key. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of things, and Celebration Key 2.0 already being announced. So on Thursday night at 8 p.m., I invite all of you all over on TikTok, and certainly you guys on YouTube. Come on over to the YouTube channel at 8 p.m. Eastern time this Thursday night. We're going to be talking all things Carnival with Carnival Corporation. So I'm so excited. It's going to be Bentley's first time on the show. She said she's a fan. She watches. So if you're watching, Bentley, hello. Good to see you. But yeah, so Thursday night, definitely join in. Hey, Scott, how are you? Good morning, Goldie Joe. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see everybody. And Rafi just bought the insurance. Rock on. Rock on. Sammy Morris, hello. Tips for the freedom of the seas. Ice skating is fun, for sure. The promenade, I'm trying to think of what bars they had on the promenade. Oh, they had a good Izumi on there. I remember we went to Izumi. The Izumi sushi hibachi was really good. We did the sushi? Hibachi on that one, right. So Izumi was very good. I remember the ice skating show was really good. I don't remember what the show was, but the ice skating show was really good. So yeah, that's a good ship. That's a fun ship. Yeah, it's just a fun ship. Have a good time. Now, the main dining room for me on Royal Caribbean is always very hit or miss, but the Windjammer is usually pretty good up there. And if they have a Playmakers, Stephanie's the one who turned us on to Playmakers. Rebecca doesn't eat meat, so all the chicken wings are for me. But those chicken wings are really good.
And the minimum order is a lot for Walter to eat.
And I'm really liking what Caleb said. Caleb said the bumper cars are intense on the Odyssey of the Seas. They hit hard. Yes. I really got to go out. You know, one of the things about Stephanie that all of you may be surprised by, she is really competitive. And so I want to do the bumper cars with her.
Seems all sweet and nice
I
and happy.
know, she seems all nice until gaming starts, and then boom, the claws come out and she wants to win. But I want to do the go-karts with her on Norwegian. Either she's going to take me out or I'm going to take her out. I don't know which way it's going to go around. And then I want to do the bumper cars with her. And I really hope we can get her on our Alaska group cruise next year, because I want to do the zip line with her on Icy Strait Point. Because ever since I just saw her eyes turn into huge saucers on that zip line, I really want her to come along. I'll put that up on the YouTube side. If you want to come over and join us, June 26, 2025, we're sailing on the Oceania Riviera from Seattle. Round trip. It's going to be 12 nights in Alaska. So we're going to celebrate the 4th of July in Alaska, which is going to be absolutely awesome. And pretty much it is all inclusive. Oceania cruises include the Wi-Fi, the drinks, the soft drink, the specialty coffee, the beer, wine, champagne with lunch and dinner, all of your meals. And I mentioned a little while ago, you get lobster, shrimp, sirloin, catch of the day, and lamb chop made to order in the buffet every freaking night. You can get surf and turf out at the pool grill every day at lunch. So it's just insane. And then with our group, prepaid gratuities are added, and then the drink package upgrade is added, so you can get a drink anytime you want, not just at lunch and dinner.
And not just with meals.
Yeah, not just with meals.
Whenever. Any bar,
so
whenever.
Excited. So if you want to come join us, it's going to be the Oceania Riviera, June 26th through July 8th, 2025. Just reach out, where'swaltertravel.com. And yeah, if we can help you in any way with anything, folks, again, our services are 100% free. And we are so thankful to all y'all, and especially for those of you who have had patience. I felt so bad yesterday. I got 2 calls right at the worst time yesterday when we were literally loading up the truck. I had no access to anything, and I hate it when somebody calls and I just don't have access to everything. Usually we have access to everything. So thank you.
The Wi-Fi is now working at the new house, so yay!
Yeah. Oh man, the Wi-Fi is working big time here at the new house. So hopefully we won't have any of these weird glitches and all that. We actually upgraded the Wi-Fi here at the house. And I've got my mesh working, so that's why we're able to sit out here, because the mesh is bringing the signal out here. So yay, Megan! About a month until the Allure. Yay! That sounds awesome. Oh man, Coco Cay, it's so much fun. It is so much fun. And understand, we talk about the water park and Hideaway Beach, and we talk about the Cocoa Beach Club. There's a lot to do on there for free. You don't have to pay a dime to go to Coco Cay. There's a lot there.
There's that big giant pool.
That's free. Big giant pool, beaches, all kinds of good stuff. The water things you do have to pay for, but there's all kinds of stuff to do on there. So Patrick Rivera, you have a question. Can you change your agent? Yeah, I mean, anybody is free to change their agent at any time.
You can't necessarily always change your current bookings.
Yeah, can't always necessarily change current booking, but you can certainly change an agent for all future bookings. I don't know the specifics of what you're asking, but yeah,
there's more questions.
Oh, are there more questions below? Oh, I'm so sorry. Patrick, you've been with your agent for 6 years, booking twice a year, but not getting much discount. Discounts vary. Sometimes we can offer discounts, sometimes we can't. More often than not, we're offering onboard credit or things like that. But the discounts all depends on what's available to us. Not everybody is going to get tons of discount. Very often what our prices are the same as the cruise lines, but then we'll throw in some extras where we can. We can't always do that either, but most of the time we try to throw in things as well. I think the main reason why a lot of folks book with us is just because of the personal service. And again, I felt horrible yesterday because a few clients called and all of our computers, literally everything was offline. It was all packed up in boxes. We weren't able to access anything.
Didn't have the internet hooked up till about 5, 6 p.m. last night?
Barely. And then the computers and all that weren't running until later in the evening. So I think that's the big reason why most people book with us and stay with us, is because we do give a lot of personal service. Plus, we're more than just cruises. I talked about it earlier, where we've had a couple of clients that talked about really wanting to take a cruise to Italy, but the things that they really wanted to do, they weren't going to have the time because of the port stops. So we
Well,
ended
and
up
plus
flipping
a
them
lot
over
of-
to a land tour instead.
And if things that they
So-
want to do are more in the interior, just the
Yeah.
time getting from the coast
Yeah.
into where they want to go
Douglas
takes up
has
a lot of time.
Yeah, Douglas has 46 days at a carnival celebration. Oh, he wants to do a group cruise on the Pride of America. I think that could be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. But 2026, my goal is to be in Europe. Actually, more so than Alaska, more so than Hawaii. I'd like to come to Hawaii, but I've got my sights set on Europe for 2026. So yes, watch for a group cruise, but it may not be the Pride of America. We're probably going to be over there, maybe a river cruise, which would be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So, Joe, there's a lot of room. You're on the second highest deck of the Sphere. Would that make a difference? I mean, you're still going to be, it's still going to be a little bit of a tunnel. So until,
Well, I mean, the ones I saw that were high up, it's really barely.
Yeah, I mean, the photos are just starting to come out. As people are in those cabins, you will be able to start searching for your actual cabin number and take a picture. So I don't know. I don't know until we see it.
And that's one of the things about, all the big bloggers were on the first cruise that got canceled. So the YouTube videos that are coming out currently are not the best.
Yeah,
they're not the best quality.
And nobody's done a full cabin tour. Like when we saw all the cabins, they didn't show us what the balconies looked like. And in fact, the picture that they show of the balcony cabin, it looks like, you got the full sky and everything right outside your window, which of course with the Sphere balcony, you don't. It is a little bit of a longer. I don't remember which deck you're on, Joe, but we're just going to have to wait until we actually get some pictures and see.
And I will say, I've heard rumors that one of the sailings early in March, they're trying to get a bunch of the big vloggers on to, so maybe there'll be some more good videos coming out at that time.
Maybe. Yeah. I know Ben and David are getting on the ship, I think in March. So, obviously when they get on there, there'll be a lot of stuff. And of course, we won't be showing you anything until October. So, James, have we been on the Independence of the Seas? Not that one, but we've been on the Freedom of the Seas. Great ship. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. You got the ice skating, you got the flow rider, you've got a bunch of great venues for entertainment. There's always a good show up in the theater. Of course, you got the schooner bar on there. You got the promenade. But yeah, great ship. Really fun ship. A little bit of something for everyone. It's not just for kids. There's a little bit of something for everyone on there. Love to cruise. My thoughts on NCL. Yes. In fact, we have a group cruise on NCL. We have a group cruise coming up on the Norwegian Aqua. I see Secretary over here is asking if there's any walkthroughs of the Aqua yet. Haven't seen them. But I think NCL is a really good cruise line. Their main dining room and buffet don't excite me. I mean, I won't go hungry, but they're not the most exciting food in the world. But their specialty dining, that's where they really shine, in my opinion. They have Food Republic, which is one of my favorite restaurants. Yeah, the ship that have Food Republic, that is one of my favorite restaurants at sea. We've had good experiences in Cagney. We had a good experience in Bayamo by Blue, which is a seafood restaurant. So yes, the specialty dining and the entertainment historically has been amazing, but they've been killing all their Broadway shows. So as far as I know, the only show left is Beetlejuice on Viva. I don't even know if any of the other ones.
I think they
Jersey
have,
Boys might still be around.
I don't know, but I think they have Burn the Floor, the dance thing. They did. That's still there, but that's not a Broadway show. It's a Broadway style show.
Yeah, it's one of their shows. But they used to have like all kinds of Broadway shows. In fact, they made a big deal out of 6. They had 6 on multiple ships, and then all of a sudden they've killed all of it. So, but I do love it, especially on the Breakaway class and up. I love that whole boardwalk area. The ocean front, and then they call it Ocean Boulevard on the new Prima class ship. I think they're great ships. I really do, and great crew. The cruise director staff. Not as fun as Carnival, because nobody beats Carnival. Nobody beats the Fun Squad. Those guys are just so much fun. But usually a really good cruise director staff as well. Robiak, how is MSC? So MSC, there's a lot of caveats to going on at MSC. It is usually either the lowest or one of the lowest priced cruise lines in the industry right now. Dollar for dollar, same route, same everything. The ships are gorgeous. They know how to build ships. Oh my God, do they know how to build ships? To me, the hotel operations are weaker than some of the other cruise lines out there. If they ever get those hotel operations, like, on par with, say, Princess, Royal Caribbean, Carnival even, they will be a force to be reckoned with because the price is so good. But when you pay that little, or among the lowest in the industry, you're not always going to have the best food. You're not always going to have the best service. And the entertainment, you know, I will say, so on the MSC side, we were really underwhelmed. On the seashore, it was better. But certainly nothing like Royal Caribbean puts millions of dollars in to their stuff. Carnival puts a lot of effort into their shows. MSC looks like they put effort in, but certainly not to that level. Now, the pools are amazing. When the food is good, it's really good.
Well, at least the pools on the Seaside class.
Yes,
we haven't been
pools
on any
the
other
class are really nice. But yeah, I mean, we've had to, you know, we had a really good experience on the seaside. The experience on the seashore was, to me, not as good. But we're going back on MSC, you know, because you know, we have to set expectations based on the cruise line. If you're expecting Royal Caribbean, Carnival, or Norwegian, you're probably going to be disappointed. And then, of course, there's the Yacht Club, totally different experience. So pretty much, I'd say 90% of people who go Yacht Club love it. So if you go Yacht Club, you're going to have a difference of opinion. So yeah, probably. But yeah, good one. Good morning, Peggy and Rana. How are you? Good to see you guys. Any advice for a first-timer Viking river cruise on the Danube? Make sure, well, first of all, make sure that you understand that nothing is guaranteed on the rivers, okay? Depending on how high or how low the river is, you may end up with a bus tour for part of it. So a lot of people don't realize that. But if the ship can't get to where it needs to get on time, you're going to be put off onto buses. And then depending on how everything's going, you might be in a hotel for a night or two as well. So always understand that with any river cruise, they are at the mercy of the river. Other than that.
And you're going to dock up right in pretty much all the towns you visit. And you may, in fact, be docked up next to other river cruise ships and have to walk across them to get onto shore.
Yeah.
That happens.
Yeah. So, but other than that, I don't really have any like specific advice for it, other than to have an amazing time. And
we're jealous.
Yeah, and we're very jealous because that is on the list. That could be 2026. So, and Secretary's saying nobody's the same cruise director as Lee. Yeah, Lee, your cruise director at Carnival, he is absolutely stonking amazing, and he's a great channel to follow. I know he's on YouTube. I don't know what else he's on, but he's great. Bill is asking, and right on the heels of the Viking river cruise, what are our thoughts on Viking ocean cruises? Amazing. So Viking ocean cruise is pretty much all included, including one shore excursion in pretty much every port.
Yeah, I think the only thing not included probably is gratuities.
That might be the only thing. Viking ocean ships are 100% balcony. About 900 people, so there is no such thing as an inside or an ocean view on a Viking ocean ship. They are all balconies, around 900 passengers. Some
of them are French balconies, which you can't step out onto, but it's still technically a balcony.
It's very cool. You know, you slide open the door, which is actually kind of cool. You can't step out, but it's like an infinite balcony, but you know, actually a little nicer because of the way the door is. And from what we've seen, I mean, they are like in a class. When we were on the Oceania cruise, it was very interesting. We were having a lot of conversation about Regent versus Viking versus Oceania. And the overwhelming consensus was that Viking, you know, that is the line. Like, you know, Regent is good, but Viking is the one. Like, they just do everything to a top level. And I will say we've had clients on Viking. There is no complaints from anybody that we've talked to that's ever come off a Viking ocean ship.
The only things you need, well, 3 things you need to be aware of, unlike most other ships of any variety: 18 over only, no casino, non-smoking, 100% non-smoking on the ship.
Yep.
So if those are problems for you, can't go in there. But for me, those are all positives. So.
They are. Becky wants an adult-only area with no solarium over. Any recommendations? Yeah, Carnival. Carnival Mardi Gras and that whole XL class, they have the Serenity area up front, 21 and over only, and there's no roof over it. There's a lot of shade where you can get under shade, but there is no roof over it. So yeah, I don't know what it's like on the other ship, but I think any of the ship that has that Serenity area, there's not going to be any glass or anything over it. It's quite lovely. I really enjoyed that.
And and this is one of the reasons personally I don't like it on the NCL ships. The Spice H2O area, which is adults only,
That's adults only.
has almost zero shade.
Yeah.
So there's all open, all sun.
Yeah.
Not good for
completely
the
open.
easily burned.
So those are the two that I can think of offhand: Carnival and Norwegian Cruise Line, the ones that have the Spice H2O area. And then I think the By Beach Club, but is that adults only? I know it's paid.
I think so. I'm
No.
not entirely sure, but I think so.
I think it's adults only, but it is a paid area. Yeah. Irene, I mentioned hotel operations on the MSC, or am I referring to the stateroom? So what I'm referring to with the hotel operations is the operation of the staterooms, and especially the food and the service.
The rooms themselves are nice.
So yeah, no, the rooms are great. The rooms are great, but it is the service that you get that I'm really referring to: the quality of the food and beverage, the quality of a service. There is a real difference in how MSC operates in terms of customer service, customer response versus a lot of the other cruise lines. But then again, you are paying some of the lowest out there, so that comes with the territory. We're going back on MSC. I have really enjoyed going on MSC, and we're going to go on MSC, and we have booked clients on MSC. But we're very upfront about, these are some of the expectations, because you have to set expectations for going on those ships. They are stunning. The pools on the Seaside class are stunning. The island, Ocean Key, is actually my favorite private island. I like it more than Coco Cay, to be honest with you, just because it's got that more natural look to it. I love going to Coco Cay. It's fun. But Ocean Key is actually my favorite private island out there. So, yeah. Big Daddy's going on Adventure of the Sea in May. Have we been on the Norwegian Epic? No, but we were talking about the fact that we need to go on there, because that is such a unique ship because of that split bathroom situation and the frosted glass on the bathroom. It's a very interesting, that is a whole show unto itself to talk about the Epic.
And she's either in Port Canaveral now or coming soon.
Yeah, and she's getting ready to head over, because we got somebody on a transatlantic on that ship as well. We've got one client, they love that ship. They're like, oh, we love that. And in fact, Stephanie even said she loved the ship, like the overall ship. She loved it. It's just, it has that weird bathroom design.
And I believe Stephanie told me that is the only Norwegian ship that actually has a pool in the adults only Spice H2O area. Everyone else is just a water feature and some hot tubs.
Yeah. So, I mean, we do want to go on it just to see what it's all about, but we have not been on that ship yet. And at Spain, they're saying that they thought the ship was a little bit underwhelming.
Well, I mean, the service you get can vary quite widely depending on the crew that happens to be on at the time.
Well, exactly.
So,
Icon of Seas was amazing, but that was the A team. That was the A team. So I don't know what that'll be like in a few months.
Yeah. So, I mean, you go on in another, 9 months, year later, could be entirely different crew and an entirely different experience.
Yeah. And Aaron, I see you asked a question about Navigator of Seas. I do not know what she's doing over there. Mike Perrin, good morning. How are you? When can you pay for your drink package on Royal Caribbean? So you can pretty much, from the time you book, you can start that. Now the drink packages go up and down, like literally day to day. The prices could change. And the thing with those drink packages is you can go ahead and buy the drink package today. If you notice that it goes down by $10, say next week, you can cancel it and you can rebook it. And you can keep canceling and rebooking up until the cruise.
The very biggest thing about the drink packages is ignore all the buy one, get one half off, 40% off, 50% off. Ignore that.
Yep.
Only pay attention and track it so only pay attention to the bottom line dollars. Like, do a pretend booking, go through the process to check out without actually paying and see what it's going to cost you. That's the only number you need to worry about.
Because Royal Caribbean is famous for, their drink packet goes from 40% off today to 50% off tomorrow. And they just want you to look at that. Hey, it went from 40 to 50% off. And they're hoping that you didn't notice that the package itself actually went up by $5 or $10. And how did that happen? Well, they just raised the price of it. And now it's 50% off. But that new 50% off price is actually higher than the 40% off price. So only track that dollar amount. Yeah, they're very sneaky about that. Royal Caribbean is among the worst at it. So, Eddie, good morning. James, good morning. Good morning. Let me see. Carla, you're allergic to cannabis and vape. Would I recommend Disney and Royal Caribbean? Can I escape these? So cannabis is not permitted on any cruise ship.
That's not to say some people don't bring it on.
Right.
However.
But any form of cannabis is illegal on a cruise ship. Even if you have a prescription for medication,
even the CBD stuff,
you can't bring any of the CBD stuff. None of it. If you are caught with it, you are off the ship. In terms of vapes,
that they do follow the same rules as smoking. So they can only vape in the areas where they are allowed to smoke.
Yeah. Now, some people think that they can just do it anywhere. And if a crew member sees them, they're going to tell them that they have to move. If you see it, nobody's coming, you can always tell a crew member, because some people don't think about that. But I mean, they're anywhere that you can find smoking, you will find vape. But cannabis is not permitted on the cruise ship in the United States.
The absolute only guarantee that you will not run into any smoking products at all is on Viking, because they are 100% smoke free.
Yeah. And Celebrity and Virgin Voyages has smoke-free casinos. So if you like to use a casino, but you don't want to have smoke, those two have entirely smoke-free casinos. Now, some of the other cruise lines have smoke-free sections, but literally 100% smoke-free on Celebrity and Virgin Voyages, if you like that. Rob's going on the getaway in April. That is going to be fabulous. Coco, how about Princess Cruises? They're amazing. We love Princess Cruises. We've been on 5 of them, and we were just talking earlier. We've got a big group going out on the Sun Princess in October. They're a great cruise line. And the thing of it is, I don't know if it's a good cruise line for you, because I don't know what you're looking for. We qualify every single client who calls us, we qualify them for a specific cruise line. In fact, we don't even qualify them for a cruise line. We qualify them for the ship. All we are always looking at is, when do you want to go? Where do you want to go? And what port are we going to be sailing out of? Then what are all of the things that you're looking for? So it's not necessary. So we're looking at, well, what ships are available during that time frame? Now, of these ships, we don't even care about the cruise line. Of these ships, which one is going to provide the best vacation for that person? So Princess Cruises, in general, great cruise line, a lot of fun, but it may not be the right one for you for whatever specific vacation you're looking for. Secretary says that, yeah, so the Allura had a separate smoke-free casino. What they've been doing on the Oasis class, they've been taking that old Jazz on 4 club. And I heard that they've been turning all of them into a smoke-free casino, which is kind of sad, because now the Jazz Club is gone. It would be nice to see if they introduce that Lou's Jazz Club that's out in Central Park on the Icon to everybody else. But that's pretty much what they've been doing. And then Utopia is going to open with a specific smoke-free casino as well. So Patrick, how about the Viva? You were going to book it, but not sure. So the Viva and the Prima, the biggest, I will say, negative that we've heard on those ships, that the public spaces are way too small for a ship of that size. There's a ton of retail space. And there's a ton of open space that could have been used, like maybe to make the venues a little bit bigger. But what's interesting is the Prima and the Viva were built back to back. So like the Viva was more than half finished when the Prima launched. So there's really no opportunity to change things. The Aqua, which we're going on, we have a big group going out in May of 25. That's the third ship in the class. Now that's the one that they actually had an opportunity to take some of the feedback that they've been getting and possibly make adjustments. Now we won't know until like we really start to see the ship, but that one, that's the first one that has the opportunity to possibly address some of that. Now the ship, universally, I've heard the ship is absolutely gorgeous. The spaces around it are beautiful.
The
nice
rooms
pools.
are nice.
Rooms are gorgeous. They've got all the pools. And I love that Ocean Boulevard. The food hall, Indulge Food Hall, by all accounts that we've heard, has gotten great reviews. Lots of really interesting food. Because if you were here earlier, you might have heard me say that Norwegian main dining room and buffet don't overly excite me. I don't go hungry. And then don't overly excite me. But the Indulge Food Hall is supposed to be much higher quality.
And the main dining room on that particular class of ships, at least, the menu is the same the entire cruise.
Yeah, and that's the same with the Haven too. Apparently, they're running the same menu the entire cruise. So I don't quite get that.
I mean, I hear it's a big enough menu. You don't have to eat the same thing depending on how picky
but it
you
is
are.
literally the same menu every single night. So yeah, I mean, we saw the Viva in St. Martin, I think it was, St. Thomas, and she's a beautiful ship, absolutely beautiful ship. I'm so excited to see the Aqua. But yeah, that's really the only thing. That is the only thing about the Viva. That is the public spaces can be small. So Puff Wheat Boy, going to cruise Alaska, which is better, Princess or Holland America?
Yes.
Depends on what you're looking for. They're both awesome. They're both absolutely awesome. So it just depends on like what kind of an itinerary you're looking for and what you want to do. They both have great ships, great itineraries. They both do a really nice job with the land tour. So it's a coin flip, but it just depends on the specifics of when you're going and what you want to do. That would help us decide. And to be honest with you, we're not going to decide for you. We're going to present two to four options of these are the ones that we would do, and then you're going to decide when we put those itineraries and ships head to head. You will actually make that decision for yourself. Yeah. Is there something you're going to say, hon? Oh. Have we been on the Getaway? Yes, we have been on the Getaway. Great ship.
Pre-pandemic.
Yeah, pre-pandemic, but great ship. We had a lot of fun. It's got the mojito bar in there. It's got the big screens up front. So yeah, I like that mojito bar sitting outside. That's where we were introduced to the ocean front. The ocean front on deck 8. I love the ocean front on deck 8. That's my favorite. My favorite.
And they have a nice medical facility.
Yeah, they do.
I know because I
KJK,
fell
should
in
you
the
track or
buffet.
should we expect the travel agent to track? If you're talking about the drink package, that's up to you.
No, I think just in general.
Oh, in general?
And I mean, Walter tries to keep up on when sales come up, but he does miss things. So
I do.
And any travel agent who has more than, say, 10 clients is going to occasionally miss things. So I would, if that's a concern for you, track it yourself and then call the agent and get them to check it.
I have that happen all the time, literally like on a weekly basis. Hey, well, I think my cabin just went down. Can you double check it? But I'll just jump in and check it. And yeah, we do this semi-regularly. We used to do it monthly, and now we try to do it monthly. You know, Rebecca does it, tries to go in and just check, you know, some of the pricing. It just depends on how busy we are, whether we can. But if you see something, and the thing to keep in mind is, like, we book you in a balcony. Sun Princess has like 22 balcony categories. So when you see that the balconies have gone on sale, it has to be your specific, like the BB balcony. If that's the one that we booked you in, that's the one that has to be on sale. And that may not be. It might be like just one category. You know, usually when you see sale prices, that's a guaranteed cabin. And it's going to be, what happened here? This is weird. I got this little verify to continue. That was strange. So we just need to check that it's the right category. Usually when you see a sale, it's usually like a guarantee category or something like that. So yeah. Let me see. Aaron is saying, what are we most excited about for the Sun Princess? That's a great question. I'm really hoping that we can get a group together and go see the Spellbound, because I'm really curious how all of that works. But I'm really dying to see the arena.
A little on the pricey side, I will say.
It's $149 per person to go to Spellbound. You start with dinner in the Horizon dining room. It's a specific dinner just for the event. And then they escort you into Spellbound. There's 3 seatings every night. But I really want to see this place. And I'm really curious about both the new arena and then what they do with the dome at night. That's going to be really, really pretty. So yeah. What about you, Rebecca?
Oh, the dome looks nice, I will say.
The dome looks nice, yeah.
I can't tell whether the sanctuary is not, like the loungers, except for the suite area of the sanctuary, the loungers and the cabanas, the loungers don't have padding, unlike every other sanctuary. So I can't tell whether they just haven't gotten around to it yet. Or that's the way it's going to be. But the nice part of that sanctuary is it does have an actual pool in it, not just hot tubs.
Nice. That is nice. So great question, Aaron. Thank you.
And I look forward to also some of the restaurants that are brand new.
Yes, she really can't wait for Dario's big steak meat house thing.
They do. I did see a menu for that, and they do have a very substantial vegetarian section.
Oh, they do.
I'm still not convinced I want to spend that amount of money for
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Because I think personally I might rather go somewhere else. But
Yeah, so so on that, so that's what we'll do. And on the Sun Princess cruise, a group of us will go there, a group will go elsewhere. So Marnie can't wait for the Aqua. Douglas, I know you can't wait for the Aqua. That's going to be a huge day for you guys. Siggy, any feedback on the Virgin Voyages Europe sailing from Barcelona? Oh, I've gotten nothing but rave reviews on all of the European sailings. And even the Australian sailings, my guest who actually went down there for some of the longer ones, but I have booked so many Virgin Voyages, both in Europe and transatlantic. Just a ton of stuff. Kay wants suggestions for a 7 to 10 day cruise. Tired of Eastern and Western Caribbean. Thoughts on repositioning? So repositioning. The thing about repositioning, most of them have very limited port stops. Like there's like some out there, like you're on the ship for 17 days, but maybe only 3 stops or 4 stops. So if you're okay with that, if you're okay with having like 10 or 15 sea days, so then you got to make sure you're on the right ship. Boy, if you're on the wrong ship, you are going to hate it. So we really got to make sure that we get you set up. But there are some really cool ones out there because it's not just transatlantic. There's Trans-Pacific. There was, going up to Dubai through the Red Sea. That was a lovely one that unfortunately they can't do anymore. But there are there's even repositioning going from New York down to Florida. There's a Princess ship that's doing, what was it, like 12 or 14 days in the Caribbean? And it leaves from New York, it does this really big itinerary in the Southern Caribbean, and then it ends up in Fort Lauderdale. Even a repositioning like that. There's repositioning like Carnival goes from Seattle down to New Orleans. So, there's tons of different types of repositionings out there that are super
technically
cool.
The full transit Panama canals, for the most part, are repositioning.
That would be
because you're going from one coast to the other.
Coming up from Tahiti to Hawaii to Seattle for the Alaska run. Oh my God.
And just to give the Caribbean some love, aside from Eastern and Western Caribbean, if you take a longer cruise, Southern Caribbean.
Or go on Virgin Voyages out of San Juan. Oh my God. They have 4 10 and 11 night itineraries from San Juan. So they're already starting in San Juan. So the places they can go because of that, holy crap. And then also if you look at Oceania, like what we did an amazing 12-night itinerary out of Miami. That was absolutely amazing. So, Margaritaville Sea has a no smoking casino. That's great. We are, I've kind of ragged on Margaritaville Sea a little bit, but we, at least I will. I don't know about Rebecca, but I will be going on the Islander. I had a great meeting with the Margaritaville Sea team.
He did find out some interesting information.
Yeah, so I met with my rep, and basically Margaritaville has now taken over. It's no longer a third party running the cruise line. Margaritaville itself now owns the brand, and there are stringent brand standards now, which they needed. So now the ship should be living up to the resort brand. So, Margaritaville Resorts is actually a very good brand. And so now the ships are going to be matching up to that. They have very stringent standards on the stateroom, the ship, everything about it, which they did not have on the Paradise. So they've kind of admitted that, whoops, we kind of made a mistake trusting our third party. So pretty much the entire team is brand new. It's growing by the week. And the big thing that I remember is that they have people from Princess Holland America, and then the CEO is a former celebrity executive. So I'm really impressed with what Margaritaville is doing. I can't wait to see this new ship. I may actually end up on the Paradise because they're going to be doing some training on there for the Islanders. So yes, I'm excited about them. So let me see. Did I try out the new section at Royal Caribbean Private Island? So we didn't try it out. We were there for about an hour and a half. We were on the previous sailing. So we only had 3 nights on the ship. And instead of spending like 4 or 5 hours hanging out in Hideaway Beach, I just went there to go see what it was like. And it was beautiful. Royal Caribbean put some serious money into Hideaway Beach. I think the coolest thing is that it has a lagoon. So they have a protected lagoon, whereas like if you're over on like the Cocoa Beach Club, and it's really windy and everything, that surf is kicking in and it's really rough. Well, they have a private lagoon on their beach, which is really nice. So even though it was windy that day, in fact, it was so windy, the Icon had her thrusters going all day to keep her snug up against the dock. It was really windy. So going to that private island to Hideaway Beach, we went to look at it. The pool was stunning. The new cabanas, stunning. The swim up cabanas, stunning. The beach itself, really, really nice. Plenty of loungers out there. It is really loud. It is a Las Vegas party vibe in there. So the pool area itself, very loud music. If you want to get away from the music, you're not going to get away from it entirely. You go to the beach and you go to the far end of the beach as far away from the DJ as possible. But they have the food in there and all of that. It was a gorgeous area. It was much nicer than I expected it to be. They put some serious money into that place. It is really, really nice.
Yeah, I'll give it that it's much nicer than I expected. I think a lot would depend on how much they're charging that particular sailing, because the prices fluctuate.
It is dynamic pricing. It is dynamic pricing.
But personally, for me, it would have to be super low because it's too loud for me.
It's too loud for her, yeah. And
I would have to spend the entire time as far away from the pool as I possibly could, and it would have to be so cheap.
Make friends with somebody who's getting the swim up cabanas, because those are as far away from the music as possible. And then all you got to do is pay to get in and then go hang out at that cabana all day. So yeah. Mark Harrison, you think about booking the NGL getaway for Thanksgiving. First off, Thanksgiving is a fabulous time to go on a cruise. No drama. All y'all Americans who are watching this, you know what I'm talking about. There's drama over the turkey. There's drama over getting that whole meal in place. There's drama over which football game we're going to watch. There's just so much drama.
There's drama having your family all together.
I know. Who's going to sit where? Oh my God, is that family member coming? Oh no. Go on a ship.
And you didn't make the mincemeat pie? I have to have a mincemeat pie.
Yeah, I know. Somebody's going to be complaining that, now my meal is ruined. You didn't make that thing.
You made the sweet potatoes just without the marshmallows. I have to have the marshmallows.
So go on a cruise ship. Somebody else is doing the cooking. There's no stress. And in fact, like if you're going on the NCL getaway, do not go to the main dining room for Thanksgiving dinner. You're going to hate it. It's going to be like Piccadilly cafeteria. You can't make a good Thanksgiving dinner for 2,500 people. What you can do, however, go up to the buffet. They will probably be carving a fresh turkey, and there you go, a freshly roasted turkey. That will be better than what they're serving down in the main dining room. And then they'll have the mashed potatoes and all those other things if you really want to. What I actually do on Thanksgiving is I book a specialty restaurant. I just skip the whole Thanksgiving meal altogether, because it's like, if I want a nice turkey, I'm going to cook it myself when I get home. I'm going to make my garlic mashed potatoes. I'm going to make the sweet potatoes just the way I want it. On a cruise ship, just get away from it all. And they will have the football game playing. You'll probably be able to watch the parade and all that good stuff. You just won't have any drama. So yes, on the getaway, I think Getaway is a great ship. And yes, to anybody who's watching, go away for Thanksgiving. We took a big group on the Valiant Lady last year for Thanksgiving, and it was righteous. It was so much fun. Who had the best last minute cruise deals? I really don't know. I don't really keep up with that.
And they're hard to come by anymore anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you can still get them, but the best cruise deals are actually when the ships first come up for sale. Those are some of the best pricing out there. So David P., we're doing well. Thank you so much for asking. Hi, Nancy. How are you? The best food at sea. I think the best food at sea, well, this is my own opinion, but Oceania now is at the top, and then Virgin's kind of behind that, and then Celebrity behind that as well. So, that's just my opinion. We haven't been on Viking yet, so we need to go try out Viking for sure.
And food is just really, really subjective.
And then we can we can really compare. So once we get on Viking, I think that's going to be that's going to be it. So, but it's going well so far. Margaritaville at sea is the best food you've ever ate in 150 cruises. That's pretty amazing. So anyway, let's see. You have to have mincemeat pie. You have to have mincemeat pie. That's so funny. So, hey. Let's see. We need to try Carnival Freedom. Yeah, I know. Chris, you say that every single week. That's hilarious. Hey, Jimmy, how you doing? Thanks so much for joining us. Transatlantic cruise on VB from Rome embarks on Thanksgiving Day. Will they serve Thanksgiving? Because you're coming from Rome, I don't know. Maybe. I will say we did the Thanksgiving cruise, you know, on the Valiant Lady last year, and what I love that they did, because we were on there for 8 nights, so they served Thanksgiving dinner all week, but they did it differently in every single restaurant, and that was really cool. So because they did the dinner all week, we got to try different variations of it. So I had Thanksgiving dinner in the test kitchen and in Razzle Dazzle, and I think one other place I had it too. And it was kind of cool because it was kind of like, you know, turkey, mashed potatoes, all that stuff, but it was done completely differently. So, hello, somebody wants to join the conversation. So yeah, that was really cool. I don't know if they will, because it's not leaving from America, it's leaving from Rome. So they might not. RS Mom, which cruise line is the best with handling food allergies? I think they're all pretty darn good at it, because they do ask. Pretty much, I can't think of a time that we've gone to dinner somewhere or lunch.
There may have been
where
once
they
or
haven't
twice.
asked. I mean, they usually do ask. And one of the things too about, and I will say in terms of a buffet, we've never seen anything like the Sky Princess on the buffet. Their signage was so good. It literally, it was like it might be these allergens, and these are all of the things that are in it. It was really good signage. I've never seen a buffet with signage like that before or since. That was really, really good. But in general, all of the cruise lines are good with it.
I mean, there's no 100% guarantees. That same applies if you go out to eat at a restaurant. They will do their absolute best. As far as buffets go, yes, they will. Even if they don't have things labeled, they will. You can ask for a chef to walk you through and to show you what you can and cannot eat. The biggest problem with buffets is that if you have such a severe allergy that the smallest amount will affect you, sometimes people move spoons or tongs to other places.
Exactly.
And you don't know that they've done that.
Yeah. So in terms of that, and Mary over on YouTube is saying that she feels like Disney does a great job. I know Celebrity does a great job with it as well. Disney has some of the top service, period. Right. If you've never sailed Disney Cruise Line, then you don't know just how, like, they have amazing food service. They have amazing service overall. I know Oceania was excellent with it as well. They went way over the top to make sure that, you know, everything was good. But for the most part, but yeah, like when you have, say, like a Carnival, Royal Caribbean, and Norwegian, especially when there's a lot of kids going through the buffet, things can get moved around. So that can be a little bit scary.
And definitely when you're fill out a special needs medical form so that your allergies can get noted. And if you are not asked about your allergies, be sure to mention them.
Yeah. Silver Librarian, can I explain how hard it is to fly into San Juan from the U.S. to get to the cruise port? It's easy, especially now that cruising, you know, when cruising wasn't like a normal thing out of San Juan, it might have been a little bit more difficult, but now we've actually had we've had multiple seasons now of ship being down there. You fly in, there's going to be your usual taxis and transfers and all of that waiting for you at the airport to take you to the hotel. Then from the hotel, it's very easy.
And they're not that far apart either.
In fact, you can almost walk, depending on the hotel you get in San Juan, you can literally almost walk to the port. In fact, you can walk to the port.
If you don't have a lot of luggage.
If you don't have like really heavy luggage, you can literally, because it's literally all downhill. If you're staying in Old San Juan, it's literally all downhill to the port. And it's probably no more than a 15-20 minute walk from your hotel to actually get down to the port if you're staying in Old San Juan. It's really easy. It's really no different than, say, flying into Fort Lauderdale or Miami. Of course, those infrastructures are much more robust. There's a lot more of it. But from all accounts that I've heard, it's pretty easy to get around going on down in there, too. So, Jimmy, you haven't done anything but Carnival Cruise Line. Hey, Carnival Cruise Line is a good cruise line. I mean, there's people who've done 50, 75, 80, 100 cruises on Carnival Cruise Line. So, you know, that is a really good cruise line. It's a fun cruise line out there. So, yeah, but if you want to try something new, certainly just reach out. Yeah, Swim Dog, definitely let us know, Jill, about the Rome to Miami. Susie GJD, Disney has the best food so far. I'll tell you, my favorite restaurant, period, Remy on the Disney Fantasy. Wow. That was absolutely amazing. And the buffet is ridiculous. I mean, if you've never seen a Disney buffet, it is absolutely freaking ridiculous. So, Aaron, what restaurant did we eat at Valiant Lady for Thanksgiving? We had a nice big group of Razzle Dazzle. If you're going on Virgin Voyages and you got a bunch of you going and you want to have a nice dinner where you all sit together, Razzle Dazzle has these really nice big family tables. I want to say they could probably hold 20 people at a single table, and there's multiple of these tables. So I would say that is a really that's a really great restaurant if you got a whole bunch of you and you all want to sit down and have lunch or dinner together. It's really great. Yeah, Jimmy, your wife has done Disney, but you've only done Carnival. So yeah, Disney is like a luxury cruise line compared to Carnival. Really, the service is over the top, the food is over the top, the entertainment is amazing, and of course, especially if you're a big kid like I am, you know, there's just something about seeing the characters out there, and you get amazing character interactions on the cruises versus the theme park. So in the theme parks, if you want to meet a character, you're going to get in line, you're going to get a photo, and you're going to move on. Because you're on a ship for 5 or 7, definitely get a 7-day cruise. You're going to see the chefs. You're going to see the characters every single day, and like Mickey has time to hang with you, or Belle. There's some wonderful video out there that I've seen. Belle every single morning or every single day found this little girl. She would sit on the floor with her, and they would interact for like 5 minutes or so. You can't do that in the parks. So yeah, the cruises are absolutely amazing, and I love seeing the characters. Absolutely love seeing the characters. So. Disney is so expensive. Is it really worth the Disney difference? Well, I'll tell you what, the gap between Royal Caribbean and Disney is closing in a hurry, and in some cases, Royal Caribbean is now more expensive than a Disney cruise. So
and you do have to, with all cruise lines, not just Disney, even if they're more, you know, except for probably Virgin, all cruise lines will be more expensive when kids are out of school. And it's even more so for Disney.
Yeah.
So if you want to go on a Disney cruise that's not as expensive, leave out the summer, leave out between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, just like all cruise lines, like January, February, and September. Those are going to be the 3 cheapest months in the U.S. generally to go out on a cruise. But is it worth it? I mean, it's worth it for a lot of people because those ships keep selling out. I will tell you, I mean, without a doubt, the best room stewards I think we've ever had. Absolutely amazing. She was amazing. And then her partner happened to be our server, our main server down in the dining room. So that rotational dining is pretty doggone cool. The ships are stunning. I mean, the ships are absolutely gorgeous. The adult only areas are really, really nice. The shows are great. It's up to you whether it's worth the difference. I mean, do you get your money's worth? I think you do. Private Island is gorgeous as well. Like if we got something that's going to Castaway Cay, and of course now we've got Lighthouse Point is opening. So is it worth it? I think the prices are somewhat justified. Yeah, when you look at the quality of the ship, the quality of service, the quality of the food, and the overall value of it. You know, the Wish is definitely up there. Now I think for a 4 or 3 night cruise, that's up there. But for a 7-night cruise, I mean, we can put you on the Fantasy and the Dream all day long. And now the Treasure's coming. So you look at like Royal Caribbean Icon, look at Wonder of the Seas, look at some of these 7-night cruises on their big ship, and then go over and look at Disney Dream and Fantasy. You're going to find that they're really, really close. So in fact, DCL Duo, which is a big podcast, they're starting to look at Royal Caribbean more for cruising too. And it's like, it's very interesting. Kara, when you were on Disney Fantasy, they said they have a separate kitchen fixing food. Oh yeah, for the allergies. Yeah.
But it's the most common allergies. So it's probably soy, wheat, eggs, dairy. If you have some kind of more random, like I knew we had a friend who was allergic to cinnamon. That probably still happens in the allergy diner. It really applies to the biggest allergies out there. Yeah. Nuts, that kind of thing.
Right. Jimmy, see, now Jimmy actually said he did walk he's done the cruise in Puerto Rico, and you can walk. Yeah, if you stay in a hotel in Old San Juan, I mean, you can literally just walk on down to the port. So, Betty, I'm not really sure what you're asking about with the onboard credit. I mean, if you want to ping me offline, I'm honestly not sure what you're talking about there. Aaron's asking any plans to take a quick cruise on the Utopia like we did for the Icon? If it's available, we don't know. They have not announced any preview cruises for the Utopia yet. Regardless, I do plan to get on the ship because I want to go see the pesky parrot. It looks amazing. Roger White, how are you, man? How was the cruise on Oceana? Fabulous, absolutely amazing. The only bummer was the fact that we went to Guadalupe on a Saturday, and it happened to be the day that the main Death in Paradise tour doesn't run. They don't run on Saturdays. So we didn't get to do the real Death in Paradise tour, which is our favorite BBC show. But we did sort of kind of make our own, which was kind of fun. But the food was over the top. Service was over the top. The room was lovely. Only 650 passengers. It was probably as close to sailing on the original Love Boat as we'll ever get. So that it's just amazing. And every client that I have sent on to Oceana since, amazing. And of course, we've got that Alaska cruise coming up next year. We're going to be on the Oceana Riviera. Only 1,200 passengers on that one. 12 nights, 8 ports. Basically almost all inclusive because of the group. We're able to throw in the prepaid gratuities and the drink package upgrade. And with everything that Oceana already throws in, almost all inclusive. So yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. Hey, you're welcome, Silver Librarian.
And I don't think we're being closed-minded about Margaritaville at Sea. He's going to go on them.
Yeah.
So I really don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, I'm not being closed-minded. It's when the Bahamas at Sea,
Bahamas Paradise
owned the ship. They did not do a proper retrofit on it. And even Margaritaville at Sea recognized, or Margaritaville, the corporation, recognized that Bahamas Paradise botched the launch. That's why they ended up buying them out last September. So up until September, Bahamas Paradise owned the cruise line. If you cruised after September, Margaritaville stepped in and changed everything. So they raised the food standards. They sent the ship in for a second dry dock. So yeah, and I just had a great meeting with Margaritaville at Sea this past week. And yeah, we are going to be selling Margaritaville at Sea. In fact, I'm going on the Islander with them. And yeah, so the original launch, even they said the original launch was not handled properly. They trusted that Bahamas Paradise would do the right thing. Bahamas Paradise did not do the right thing. They simply put lipstick on a pig, for lack of a better term. And the ship overwhelmingly got negative reviews in its original incarnation. In September, when Margaritaville at Sea bought the ship, or when Margaritaville bought them out, pushed all that management out, sent the ship back in for a second dry dock, and now since, everything has changed. Everything has completely changed. So the Margaritaville at Sea since September is different than the Margaritaville at Sea prior. So I'm not being closed-minded at all. I met with them, had a great meeting. I'm going on the ship. I'm going to go do some training down on the Paradise. So yeah, I'm going on them. It's going to be, and I think the Islander is going to be an amazing group cruise ship, and I can't wait to do my first group cruise on there. It's going to be awesome. Ben, you're on the Icon right now. Have an amazing time. Jimmy,
hang out in the Overlook for us.
Sorry?
Hang out in the Overlook.
Oh yeah. Hey, Ben, go down to the Overlook and get an espresso martini for me from the Ryan Bean. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Secretary is saying that you think that the Margaritaville is a different kind of brand and people are expecting Royal Caribbean or Disney. No, I don't think they're expecting that. I think they're expecting Margaritaville, the resort. That is an outstanding brand, but Margaritaville, the resort, is an outstanding brand. When people stepped on the original version of the Paradise, they were expecting that, and that's not what Margaritaville at Sea delivered. Now it sounds like they are starting. Certainly the Islander is going to deliver that. That is the plan. From what they told me and from what we've seen, the Islander is going to deliver on the promise of Margaritaville.
From its launch as a Margaritaville ship.
It should be pretty doggone amazing. So what's the difference between the four? Oh, I love this question so much, MCAP. What's the difference between 4D, 3D, 2D, 1D cabins on Royal Caribbean? So those are the specific categories, and the letters you're pointing to are all balcony cabins. The difference is, in reality, like I know that the 3D can handle 3 people, maybe 4. For sure, that is a category. I think the 3D and the 2D are the 2 that can handle up to 4 people. But more importantly, it's where they are on the ship, the position. So the cruise line put more of a premium as you get closer to the middle of the ship and as you go up. So middle and high is a premium cabin. Low and front and aft is a lower cost cabin.
Except for very, very aft cabins if a ship has
Oh, the
them.
very aft cabin is a premium.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the 4D in general, they're going to be lower and more towards the front and back of the ship. The 1D is going to be more towards the middle of the ship and maybe higher.
And the rooms themselves will be
Same.
pretty much identical. There is a possibility, depending on the location on the ship, that the balcony might be slightly different.
Could be a little different.
But essentially, the rooms are all
they're
identical.
all basically the same room, except, the 3D, like I said, I believe that's the one that can take 4 people. So it's either going to have drop-down beds, or it may have a sofa bed, or a combination of a sofa bed and a drop-down bed. That's really the difference. And the reason why they're priced different is because of their location on the ship. Yep. I love that. Because people ask me that all the time. Because when I send quotes to people, I include that letter combination, that number letter combination. They're like, well, what does this mean, 1D? I'm like, oh, that's the category. So I can remember which category I quoted you. Because again, like I said, Icon of a Seas has 27 cabin categories. So I need to remember that when I quote you a balcony, which one did I quote you? Betsy the kitty. Oh, look at that. See, your kids felt like they were best friends with the characters after your Disney cruise, right? And they can't do that in the parks. In the parks, it's just hurry up, get your picture, move. So yeah, Disney is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful experience. They really are. So MCAP, your favorite Disney cruise so far has been a February with no kids. Adult only areas are great, aren't they though? They really are. I remember on the Fantasy, the pool area up in the front, not only did it have the swim-up bar, the pool, and all of that, the coffee bar was right there. Like literally, you step out of the pool and you go into the coffee bar. That was my favorite part. It was so awesome, so awesome.
And Disney actually does enforce the no kids rule. I've seen some other cruise lines who don't always enforce that rule.
Yeah. David P., what's the best European cruise? Oh, I can't tell you that.
I will say that we generally tend to lean into mid-size and smaller ships. The mega ships, I don't even know how many itineraries there are in Europe. So what are you looking for? Where do you want to go? How big of a ship do you want to be on? I'd like to get people on smaller ships, like 2,500, maybe 3,500 maximum. We really love Oceania, 650, 1,200. Viking is 900. And I see Roger saying pricing is higher on Oceania, and there's 2 reasons for that. One, it's a luxury cruise line. Number 2, there is 900, it's only 650 to 1,200 passengers, and it's almost all inclusive. Really, the only thing that you've got to pay for are the gratuities and any drinks that you're going to get that are not with meals. So there's a lot more added in. There's a lot fewer people on there. So when we went on our 12 night on the Oceania Serena, 1,000% worth every dollar, 1,000% worth the investment in a cruise like that, because it's a totally different way of cruising. And just the fact that I was having lobster for lunch and dinner just because I could. I mean, I was enjoying it. I enjoy the main dining room is better than pretty much every specialty restaurant out there, except for Remy. Remy was just amazing. So yeah. So David, if you want to reach out and set up a time, there are so many different European cruises out there. So James, we talked about the Independence earlier. It is a great ship. Christine, you love Disney, but the non-split beds is kind of annoying considering the money. Yeah, well, they've designed it for a quote-unquote standard family of 2 parents and kids.
Exactly.
So they're expecting the parents sleep together and all the extra beds are for the kids.
Exactly.
But depending on most of the, I think almost all of the rooms can hold 4 people. Some of them can hold 5.
Yes.
So there is the option. One person gets the bed and one person gets one of the alternate locations.
I love MCAP there. The best spot for fireworks were in the adult-only pool bar upper deck. I've not heard that before. That's great. We were told by cast members. So what he's talking about there, or I don't know he or she, but what MCAP is talking about is the fireworks on Pirate Night. They have actual fireworks on a Disney ship. And we were told to be on the upper deck. Down in the main pool deck is where the big party's going on and all the pirates and everything is happening. But we were told to be 1 deck above it. And then they told us which side of the ship to be on. So we were like pretty close to the funnel, because that's where they shoot off from, behind the funnel. So we were pretty close to the funnel. And that was a great spot. But that's good to know, the adults only pool bar. I love that. Susie's going on the Voyages in September. Oh, that's so amazing. Jimmy, the destination from Puerto Rico are amazing because you're starting so far south. It opens up all these different itineraries and all these different islands that we just can't do from Florida unless you do a 12 to 14 night cruise. And there you can do a 7-night cruise and hit some amazing islands too. Athens, have we cruised on MSC? Yes, we have enjoyed MSC. There's a lot of caveats to it because you're paying so much less that you have to understand that you may not get the best of everything on there. You may not get the best food. You may not get the best service. On the Seaside class, you have amazing pools. The ships are gorgeous, but you're paying among the lowest in the industry. And then the Yacht Club is a totally different experience. For the most part, people do really seem to like the Yacht Club, especially comparing it to the Haven, which the Haven is much more expensive. So,
and the Yacht Club includes more extras than the Haven does.
Yeah, it does. It includes a lot more extras than the Haven does. So for you and 2 kids, I mean, it's definitely going to be priced right. Absolutely going to be priced right. So 1,000%. David, I'm glad that was a good answer for you. Aaron Ross' favorite port in the Caribbean is going to be for me St. Martin, St. Thomas, one of those two. And my favorite resort will be the Bimini Beach Club. You want to go with us, user 14? Yeah, and Athens, if we can help you in any way, just reach out. We're going to be wrapping this up, but where's waltertravel.com? There are links on TikTok. There are links in the description on YouTube. Certainly just reach out. Our services are 100% free. We help you with cruises. We help you with land tours, expeditions, excursions, family reunions, weddings, parties, corporate events, you name it. We can certainly help you out. There is a calendar online. We're just moving into this new house. That's why we have the new backdrop. So our office hours will open up again on Tuesday. So just go into our website, go to the contact us, and then set up an appointment that's convenient for you. I'll give you a call and go. You sent us an email. Thank you so very much for that. So guys, we're going to wrap this up because we actually have to go back to the old house, get some more stuff, and continue setting up our office and everything. So everybody over on the YouTube side, thank you so much. I'm going to remind you one more time, if you want to learn more about Carnival on Thursday night, we're going to have Bentley is joining me on the YouTube channel only, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Bentley from Carnival Cruises. We're going to talk Jubilee, Celebration Key, anything else Bentley wants to talk about. We're going to be talking about all things Carnival. So if you have questions for Carnival Cruises, come on over to YouTube and talk directly to Bentley. So everybody on the YouTube side, thank you guys so much. You have an awesome day. We'll see you Thursday night and then right back here on Sunday. And over on the